Hey guys, it is April 18th at 5:20 a.m. I am just logging onto the computer to get writing. So, since setting up this board, I haven't actually put anything on the note cards, but my notebook, I got a lot of things written. I'm up to chapter like 15 or so, some ideas of how I want the different chapters to go. And so with that, obviously, I am nowhere near getting my 30,000 of words that I wanted to hit in this month of April, but that is okay. And I've also been thinking is if I want this story to be full length or doing the short. And I just don't know. Same with, right, point of view, like alternating chapters. And I think that's the struggle, is that there's too many things that I could change in terms of like setting up the story, the book. And I'm just not sure what I want to do. So for now, we're just going to keep writing how I have it set up, which is doing like full length. In terms of like full length, more like 60,000 words, and then going into alternating. So we'll see what I could get done today. I'm working on finishing chapter 2 and moving into chapter 3, and we'll see how that works. So let's get writing. Okay, here we are. I did 20 minutes, so I got roughly 490 words. So you can kind of see that my words per hour was 1470. So when talking about words per hour, so this file is from the 5K words per hour by Chris Fox. And so, which I mean, he does dictation, so that's why you're able to get 5,000 words per hour, which is kind of cool to look at it that way. So like if I continued another 20 minutes, whatever, that I should hit that mark if I'm being like consistent with my word count. But sometimes the scenes just don't flow, and then other times they flow and you get a lot more. But I thought, almost 500 words in 20 minutes, that's not too shabby. That's about my, I'd say, norm. So that's pretty good. So I'm looking at my Scrivener file, and so I broke up each chapter into scenes and sequels. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So on the side here, there's the pink and then the blue for the female and male. And then I have, like, for chapter 1, I have scene and sequel. So I split it up this way. I don't know if this is working for me. And the reasoning is there are going to be some times when there's multiple scenes in a chapter. And I like to do one scene per chapter. That's just how I like to do things. But with doing multiple scenes per chapter, I'd have to like rearrange the citing. And so I'm thinking that I might just break it up, not into the beats, because technically some of the beats are multiple scenes, and that's just the one thing that I don't get when it comes to like story beats, because I like it to be one single unit, and then I just know how to focus on that. So I think I need to break it up differently. Haven't figured it out, but I think I'm gonna just actually on paper kind of break it up how I think, because right, this is where it gets confusing. your beat is your smallest unit of a story, right? But then there's some beats that have multiple scenes. So how can it be the smallest when it contains multiple? I think I'm getting so confused. And that every person calls certain things differently. I'm like, why can't you just have like a universal wording? I think that would be more helpful. Hey guys, we are here and it is Friday the 19th at 7:18 a.m. and I am just getting ready to take Tux out and then going to head into the office to do a little bit of work before coming back home. And in terms of writing, this morning I did not want to write, even though I was totally up early. I got distracted with like organizing Scrivener, so I started putting some of like the different outlines and stuff into Scrivener. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Like, do I want to put my notes in it? Like, let's just turn you around and I can show you. Okay, so sorry, obviously, because this is a computer screen, we have the like glare thing. So here, I took the Anina Harrington's the 16 chapter plot, right? And so this has like all the really cool information, which I guess hers isn't really like there's not really enough spacing to write under it, and she has like examples and stuff like that on hers. But we have this is the Julie Spencer's, and what I was thinking, I could do like return it, and then I could do like write my own typing under it if I want. Don't know yet. And then I also pulled Grant Ferguson's like the scene workbook, which his makes more sense to actually write under it. So like, what is the scene goals and how will it move the story forward? So I could write right below it. But the thing with that is like I could write in a different color or change this all to a different color in order to make it pop. Then we have just some PDFs that are just going to be here for reference, even though I feel like this is the from C.S. Lakin, the 8-step for a solid scene. Like hers kind of makes sense to actually put the information down since it seemed just like on this other one. But I don't quite know yet. There are too many options, too many ways. And so I've been kind of watching some videos on like setting up Scrivener and stuff like that to see if anyone has something that works. Because, which I did find just like a blog post that you could add Notion web pages into your Scrivener doc. However, it doesn't work for the Windows version. So, because I was like, that would be perfect. Then I could do all my outlining and everything in Notion, which I feel like is like more fluid because I could do it on my phone. Like I could do it everywhere versus Scrivener. I only could do it on my computer. So that's what I just haven't quite figured out. Another thing is I could just have all this information as reference in here and have it as part of like the template. And then I could either like scan in my notes, but then I'm like, what's the point of that? That's extra work. So I just don't know. It's a struggle. So if you have any like tips or anything like that on how you do your outlining plot, if you're another author, writer, let me know in the comments because I'm curious to know what other people do that want things to be broken up very, very to the point, like everything is there, because I need to have a very clear image in my head to start writing, and it needs to be detailed. And I like doing it on paper just because of the tactile aspect of it, but I know I need like to reference on like digitally as well. So there's just a lot to think about. But when I get back from work, I'm gonna try to do some more writing, because I got some like the next few scenes kind of prepped. So excited to see where the story goes. We are just wrapping up at work. I'm in my car heading out, and it is 11:20, so perfect time to take my lunch break and head back home for a little more office work there, and then it'll be time to get back into writing at the end of the work. So it is lunchtime. I am having some Miss Vicky's sea salt chips, and I am getting ready to boil some pasta, because I got leftover meat sauce from spaghetti a few nights ago, so I figured might as well have that for lunch. And I am listening to an audiobook called The Devil Made Me Brew It. It is a paranormal women's fiction, I guess you could say, paranormal romance, but I think on the cover it says paranormal fiction, or at least that's the category, but it's totally like a romance. Really enjoying it. The audiobook, I don't like the female narrator, and because of that, it's hard to listen to, because her voice is, there's something to it that it just doesn't fit the character. Like, the voice is kind of like whiny, but in a deeper voice, like a deep whine voice. Not a fan of it, but that's the thing with audiobooks, is sometimes the narrator will make or break the reading experience. Sometimes they are awesome and you're like, oh my gosh, I really, really enjoyed it. Other times it's like, do I actually like the story or not, because you're just hearing the voice. So that's actually why I kind of like on the Kindle, you could have like Alexa read it, and I like it because it's more robotic of a voice, which there's like no emotion, which makes it easier to kind of get past, and then you're adding your own, I guess, spin to it as you're reading, or like listening, if that makes sense. I don't know, but I feel like I like stories a lot better when it's more of a robotic voice. But yeah, so let's go get some boiling water and get that pasta going. Lunch is complete, so now I am heading into my writing room, my office, and just gotta figure out what I need to do. So what I want to do, I think, is do a planning video. I know this is all about Camp NaNoWriMo. It's coming to an end, but I'm not getting anywhere near 30,000 words on this story, so it is what it is. But I think I need to kind of step way back and go back to what has worked for me in the past. So over here, if you've seen this video setting up my author planner, I guess this is more of a plotting planner now. I really enjoyed it, and this now has like all of my cozy mystery stuff in it. So what I'm thinking is, what I want to do for my romance story. Do I want to have a plotting notebook that has all these different really cool handouts that I have, so then I could add them, and then when I'm working on whichever type of genre, I could just pull this out for reference and all of that. So I'm thinking I need to set that up, but I'm not gonna hold off on that because I think I need to go back and actually create a writing planner, an author planner, because I'm coming up to the season. So the summer is, I'll have quite a bit of time to work on my stories more. So with that, I think I need to plan out everything and then go from there. So I think that's plan, maybe, but I think I need to figure out what I want in the planner. So, and the size. Okay, so this video, I feel like is gonna have a lot of rambling, but that's how it goes. Is that being an author, you have so many different decisions, and sometimes you start doing one thing and then you're like, wait a minute, I think I want to change this, and then you go and make the change. So what I'm figuring out is I have this B6, right? I have not used this since I set it up for, what is this, March, April, May. It's just sitting here, and I even added, you know, right, like the NaNoWriMo stuff. Didn't even fill it out or anything. So I have like the tabs of like fitness, and then my author section has like schedule, work in progress, and marketing. So in theory, this would be so awesome, like if I could use it, but there's something holding me back, and I have my weekly daily planner, which I'm still trying to figure out, because the way I was originally going to use it for, like, I wasn't reaching towards for it. So I need to figure out how I want to use that. And what I might just do is use the weekly pages for writing stuff, and then the dailies for personal, because maybe. And there's so many things I want to keep track of, because starting, I think in May, is I want to really pick up my fitness. So I'm switching back over from doing more of the strength training. Now I'm switching back over to more of the cardio. So I'm like, I want to kind of keep track of that, because I have a 10K in the beginning of June. So I'm kind of wanting to beat my previous times. So how do I improve? Run more, right? So I want to kind of keep track of that, which is why in this planner I had the fitness, because that was kind of like a goal of mine, right? And then with the wedding coming up, that's also kind of a goal. So I'm trying to think of what I need to, how to use this planner to help me with staying focused, getting things done. And I think I need to do a total reset, which it's almost May. So, which I know May, I was using part of May in like the March, April, May quarter, but I might just refresh for May, and my quarters might be off, or I could just do it 1 month at a time and see how that goes. And thinking, do I want to do a Kanban board? Do I not want to use a Kanban board? it's a lot to think about. I think that's going to be a whole separate video, but just right now my mind is on that, and it's really kind of, I'm struggling with focusing on writing because I feel like my system's not right. I need to get my system set up so then I could be productive while I'm writing. But luckily I don't have any deadlines right now. I have no pre-orders up, so like nothing's holding me back besides myself, which I am reading. It's a really great book so far. I'm on chapter 4 or something like that. Is by C.S. Lakin, and it's, I think, Crank It Out or something. So it's all about productivity, which I'm thinking is another video I want to do, is like kind of like a book review from that and how to use the book and the tips that she provided to kind of fuel your writing career. So that's the plan. So, right, I have all these really, really great ideas for like the YouTube channel and stuff that I never follow through on. So that is something I need to figure out how to do, because if you don't follow through, you're never going to get anywhere. And I feel like that is where I am. So I got big dreams for my writing and for the YouTube, and it just never quite works out. But with that being said, I need to do some brainstorming. So I'm going to do a brainstorming session of looking at some YouTube videos on how other people have their writing thing, because I like to kind of reference, so it helps get me some ideas. And then we will check back after that.